Is this the bottom? Have we found the bottom, the end of the 2020 bear market? Talking about this idea that we found a bottom at the $2,200 area on the SPY. And I'm going to talk about why I believe this is not the bottom and how we could possibly go much lower from here. And I say possibly because at the end of the day, nothing really makes any sense anymore. I'm going to talk about what I believe is happening and the idea that the market is going to continue to head lower from here. Let's talk about it here in this video, so stay tuned. What's going on, guys? I hope everybody out there is staying alive. Well, if you're watching this video, you're probably staying alive, but I hope everybody out there is living as best as they can right now during these hard times, and everybody's staying safe and following some type of rules, staying at home and not going out and spreading the virus or getting the virus or anything like that. I'm not going to talk about what virus it is because everybody already knows what virus I'm talking about. But let's talk about the overall market right here. We're looking at the futures right here. Basically, we're looking at the overall S&P 500. Now, you can see the high back there in February was right around that $3,400 area. And obviously, you can see this massive drop ever since. Now, look at this move. Look at this move from the $3,400 area down there to 2,170 area there on futures. So, big drastic move after all this news came out about this virus and all that. But a lot of people are getting overly excited. Everyone's getting, overly excited that we found a bottom. That, okay, we bottomed out. Everyone's like, it's time to buy. It's time to get back in the market. Everything's getting easy again. And I have a couple different reasons that I believe that the market is nowhere near the bottom just yet. Like I said, a couple reasons. Now, I talked about this in a video before, how I believe that things are going to get worse before they get better, because it only just makes sense that we should expect, some type of mass kind of hysteria. Obviously, we're in that spot right now, but I still think that the situation is going to get worse before it gets better. Now, the idea that magically the market found a bottom here at the $100 area, that this is like the magic number, we finally pulled back and now we're going to just rally back to all-time highs like nothing ever happened. Well, I just don't believe it. And it's funny because the Wall Street Journal put out an article saying that it's the end of the bear market, the quickest and fastest bear market ever, and it was the end. And I think that's just very irresponsible that a publication like the Wall Street Journal would put out an article claiming that this is already the bottom. We've already found the bottom. The bear market's over. It's time to get long and time to make money again. But let's talk about why this is possibly not the bottom. Because I always say possibly because crazy things happen. The market can do crazy things and it can surprise everybody. At the end of the day, we're trading. We're looking for opportunity. We're looking for a skew in the odds. We're not looking for a 50-50. We have to look at both the bear and the bull theory here. And obviously, there's a lot of bearish momentum at this time with people losing their jobs, with corporations, running out of money, with people on the brink of bankruptcy, with, businesses closing for quarantine and all this stuff happening right now. There's just nothing really looking bullish here at this point. I don't see any news where everyone's like, hey, people are going back out, they're spending money, and everything's going to be better. It's not any type of bullish news in that sense. Obviously, we have this idea of a $2 or $3 trillion bailout by the USA Federal Reserve, by the government, which is mind-blowing. Do you guys even know how much a trillion really is? $1 trillion is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And the idea that the Fed is just going to print, $2 or $3 trillion just out of nowhere, just like, hey, you guys want some money? No problem. We can just print a couple $1 trillion. No big deal. Obviously, the USA is already in trillions at $25 trillion of debt. I haven't even looked at the number recently, but I know it's over $20 trillion. And what's another $2 or $3 trillion? You know, what's another $2 or $3 trillion of print? It's nothing. It's magic. It's fugazi. It's fugazi. It's a woozy. It's a wheezy. You know, it makes no sense at this point. Understanding how stocks move, you know, the overall market, how does it move? We understand one thing, that the market moves in waves. You know, we get these moves to the downside, we get a little bounce back up, and then the continuation lower. But one thing that I want to point out here, it's very clear on this chart, it's very, very clear, is if you look at this move from 3,400 down here to 2,800 and 900 area, whatever. From this area to this area, we can draw a line. Let's draw this line. All right, from there to there. Boom, look at that line, okay? Now, we get a bounce back up here. We get a little bounce back, and then we get that line. Now, look what happens here on this next drop. Accelerates, it becomes much more drastic. The line becomes much longer in the drop here. We draw this line, guess what? Look how much longer that line is, how much more drastic the drop is, going from 3,400 to 29, bouncing back. You know, look at that. So what do we got here? We have this move down. We get this bounce back. And the idea is, okay, this line right here is like kind of like half of this move down, right? Bounce back here. Again, pretty drastic bounce back. You know, big bounce here. I think it went up, what, 10%, 20% on that rally there. Now, if you draw this line, you put it back over here, again, about half of the downward move, a little less than the downward move here. So, again, that big drop there. But that first big drop started, we got the bounce back, we got the next big drop, which was almost double the size of this move down. And again, look at this bounce back line here. I'm just trying to give you guys just an example here of how the market moves. All right, so we got this drop, we got this little bounce back, we got this drop, we got the bounce back. So we're seeing a pattern here, right? Look how many candles are on this bounce back. I don't know if this is magic, but look. We got this doji here, right? That basically says that the price opened and closed at that same area there on that daily candle. We got the 1, 2, 3, 4 candles rising back up here. And then we got the drop. Again, down here, after this big move, what do we got? We got another doji. Again, it's showing us that, you know, there's a battle there. We're opening and closing. We got a big range, but we're still opening and closing at that same area. And what do we get? We get 1, 2, 3, 4 candles rising back. So Monday, obviously Monday is going to be very crucial to see what happens here. If we can't break above this 2640 area, like I said, expect that we are going to make another move lower. And you might ask me, you know, well, how far is it going to go? And it really isn't about, okay, let me try to predict how far the market's going to go from here. It's just the idea of trying to figure out the overall direction of the market and understanding that these moves down will always kind of have a little bit of a move back. You know, when the market bounces up, it pulls back, it bounces up, pulls back. That's natural, right? If you look at the overall market here on this chart, you can see these moves up, it pulls back, it moves up, it pulls back, it moves up, it pulls back, it moves up. So why should we expect a move down to be any different? You know, we're not going to just go from 3,300, we're not going to just drop to 1,500, just straight in a line. Although we still, you know, made a big move down, we still should expect some type of bounce back. People thought that, okay, $2,800 area, that was the bottom, you know, hey, it's awesome, everybody's happy. But look what happened. After that bounce back, it drops again. After this bounce back, this is going to be, you know, again, very telling on Monday to see what happens. If we can't break above 2640 area, and if we can't make a move up here, you know, $2,800 area this week, then we should expect another low. Now, one thing that I want to show you here is with futures, you know, this is the overall market. We're looking at how the overall market moves. You can see with these drops, right? These drops here on this chart. Let me see if I can zoom in and pull it over here. Guess what happened on this little drop there? We get the drop, we get a bounce back. We get a drop, we get a bounce back. But we're kind of testing those lows there at the $2,800 area. We're testing that 3 times before pushing higher. So that's giving me this idea that, okay, the market is bouncing back here, but we should expect to see a healthy pullback to retest those lows. A healthy pullback would pull us back down there to the $2,100 area again. If we can bottom at that point, if we can make a double bottom, a triple bottom, then we can say, hey, the bear market's over, the market's going to rally back, blah, blah, blah. That's what we should look for. But if we pull back again, if we crash from $2,600 area to the $2,100 area and then we fall lower like this kind of here, you can see, okay, we bounce, we pull back, and then we went lower after breaking below that $2,800 area. So if we see that happen, we should expect a new low. If we can bounce at that area, we should expect that market structure to kind of create these waves. The idea of retesting those lows so that we should then kind of get confirmation that we're going to go back up. To expect that the market is just going to drop like this and then to start to rally back into a bull market from here is pretty much lunacy, idiocracy. So for the Wall Street Journal to call a bottom is pretty much insane. I don't think they have any clue what they're talking about here. We should, like I said, expect a move back down here, $2,100 area on the S&P 500, and then from there, it's going to be very telling to see what happens. So it's overall looking at these moves. We got this move here, bounce back, got this move here, bounce back. We understand that the market is moving in waves here. We're not going to just get continuous selling down. We will look for, an opportunity here along the way. We're looking for volatility, stuff like that as a trader. But as an investor, we should be understanding that the market is not going to just drop, find a bottom, and then just rally back. It's not going to just look that easy, that simple. Now, again, the way that the world's running right now, the way that the Fed is just printing money, maybe we just bounce back to all-time highs and nobody cares and it just, everything just disappears overnight and it's all happy, happy, happy. I won't be upset either way, but I'm looking at how the market, how stocks move. We see these moves up, we see moves down, we see moves up. We never see, just a straight move higher. It's never just right to the moon. It's always up, down, up, down, up, down. And that same principle applies to when the market is moving down. We're moving down, we're bouncing up, we're moving down, we're bouncing up. So again, ask yourself, when you're trying to call the bottom, when you're, is this the bottom of whatever stock? Whatever stock you're trading, this can be applied to. This is not just for the overall market. This can be applied to really any stock other than penny stocks, which are just total pump and dumps. But a natural, overall healthy stock should make moves like this, ups and downs, moving waves. You should get a nice move up, nice pullback, nice move up, nice pullback. That's how the market moves. So we should expect this type of action on the way down. This is not a bottom by any means. This is just how the market moves naturally. So again, have we found a bottom? Is this the bottom? No, it's not the bottom. Well, I guess I can't say no because, again, like I said earlier, the Fed is just printing money like it's monopoly money. So at this point, why even stop printing? Let's just print another $10 or $12 trillion and let's just send the market to all-time highs, this week. Why even stop at $2 trillion? Let's just keep printing and printing and printing until everybody in the world's pretty much just a billionaire. What's the point? What's the point in even stopping the printing press? Let's just keep going here. I don't want to say fed up, but I'm just getting tired of seeing all the people who are like, hey, the market's bottom. I got people who are messaging me like, hey, I saw the market rallied back here. You think it's time to buy? You think the market's going to go lower? It's not about me predicting which way the market's going to go here. It's just about understanding how stocks move naturally. How do stocks move? We get these big moves down. We should expect a bounce back. A big move down, a bounce back. Same thing when we're going higher. If you buy a stock, if you buy it here on a pullback, what do you expect? You expect it to move higher, and then you expect a pullback, a natural pullback. This is how the market moves. So don't read the headlines. Don't believe that we found a bottom just yet. Look for opportunity when you see it, but understand that the market at any time can, crash back down from here. We can make new lows this week. We could go pretty much, I don't really know. We could go all the way to zero at this point. The market really could go, I don't want to say we go all the way to zero, but the market still can go much lower from here. So don't get overly confident that we are at the bottom just yet. Especially don't be buying this sucker rally. I think everybody out there who's like calling me saying, hey, should I invest in the market? I saw the market bounce back. Should I invest now? I mean, if you're investing long-term, next 2 or 3 years, maybe. But even then, why? Why buy on this rally here? Why buy on this rally? Let's wait for a consolidation area. if I'm like, I really want to buy, if I really want to get long, I'm going to be at least looking for a pullback from here, higher low. Let's look at a higher low before calling any type of bottom here. So if the market pulls back from $2,600 down to the $2,300 area and then makes another move higher, that's something to kind of look at it like, hey, that's bullish, that's good, we want to see a bounce back. But if we can't make a higher low, then we should not expect the market to just start rallying back out of nowhere for no real reason other than the idea that the Fed is printing money. I've said it before, I say it again. Just printing money is not going to stop the bleeding. Just printing and printing and printing is not going to change the overall financial status of the world right now. There's a lot of stuff going on that a lot of people aren't really accounting for because everybody just thinks that, hey, the market's just going to bounce back naturally. But hey, let's prepare for the worst. Let's expect something crazy can happen. But overall, let's just try to, expect that the market is going to be naturally making these types of moves, up, down, up, down, up, down, all around. So there it is. That's my idea here, and that's why I disagree with the Wall Street Journal, and that's why I disagree with a lot of people out there who are calling this a bottom. We have not found a bottom just yet. Look for a higher low, or look for the market to test this $2,100 area again for a, double bottom area. We'll see what happens, and stay safe, stay green. Everybody out there, hoping that you guys are all faring as well as you can fare right now. I know everyone's stuck inside during the quarantine and all that, but I'm hoping that we get back to business before you know it. I'm sure we will. Just got to get to that point, and we just got to stay positive and keep on moving. People keep on living. So I will talk to you guys later on.